And good morning, good afternoon, and welcome everybody to the latest live edition of Kiwanis Connects, coming to you from all points of the globe. That's right. Usually it's just me here in Virginia Beach. We have Val usually in California, but she's in Tennessee, so we're kind of on almost the same time zone. And then, of course, as you see on the screen with us, a good friend of Kiwanis, good friend of ours, someone we've had on the show before. We are more than proud as could be to have Lieutenant Governor Grace joining us all the way from Kenya this morning. Where, what is it, about midnight your time, Grace?
No, it's evening. It's 7 p.m.
Oh, see, not too bad. 7 p.m. is a good time. We want to thank everybody for tuning in, whether you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, in a couple of days, just go to Roku, download the WWDB-TV channel to your Roku service. Get the plethora of show options that you have for not only Kiwanis Connects, but all the shows that are available on the network. If you'd like to call in, we'd love to hear from you. 702-992-3207. That's 702-992-3207. Of course, drop some comments into the chat box. We're monitoring that. If you're watching us on YouTube, by all means, post your comments there. John will grab them and put them up on the screen for us. With that, we lost Val. Val's in Tennessee, and I believe she's at their district convention, Grace, and she's having some trouble with some of the audio connection. As you know, you're inside these halls of hotels and rooms. Sometimes the internet just does not want to cooperate with us. So what's going on in your neck of the woods? Where are you today? Looks like you have a Kiwanis flag I see over your shoulder there. Where are you today?
I'm in my office. This is my clinic office. I run a private clinic.
Right. I remember that. So Kiwanis, when we last talked, met you the first time, John Crawford was with us. He might be watching now. We know he's all over the place, but we asked him to join us, but he's a little tied up. We'd have some videos. We do have some screenshots we'll put up. But when we last met, and I know I'm kind of getting ahead, I'm really just kind of stalling till we get Val back on with us. We met you at a very precarious time in your life personally because of a land situation, and part of the first time we met you, a GoFundMe account was established to help you kind of reestablish your home and your dwelling. Give us the 2-cent update on where all that is before we get into Kiwanis and all that other stuff. Let us know how you're doing personally.
Okay, thank you so much, Philip, first for having me on the show today. I'm sorry for joining late. I'm the one in charge today. My staff are all having their days off. Yeah, we have been in touch with John, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the Kiwanians across the world for their kindness. The fundraiser has really been doing well, though John has really put a lot of effort. And I would say we've already almost reaching a third of the target.
Okay.
And no construction has started or purchasing of a new house yet because we are waiting to reach the target. But the money that Kiwanians have contributed is safe some in my bank account and others already in the fundraiser account.
Okay.
So once we have the full amount and the target, of course, we will start the process and we will let everyone know how it's going.
Great. Now, if you would, for those who, now with me being now on the East Coast of the country, I'm with a whole bunch of new Kiwanians here in the Virginia area, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake area. Can you just give us a brief recap of what happened up to the point of this fund, why we're doing this to help support you, just for new viewers who are not familiar with your situation?
Oh, yeah, it was a very sad incident. It was, we purchased a piece of land quite some year back and constructed a house. And of course, we got all the documents that you need to when you buy a land. But unfortunately, the new government, there was an order that all the constructions, all the building within that area should be demolished for the new company that deals with the cement. So the government ordered that the houses be demolished without notice, and within a span of 3 to 7 days, over 25 homes were brought down. That includes mine, and so many people were left homeless. Fortunately, there were no Kiwanians affected apart from me. I'm the only one who was living in that area. But so many people were affected, most of them being the citizens immigrants from the Congo who had taken refuge in the country, and they came and bought that land and settled. So it was not just me who was affected. There were other people who were affected by that sad incident. So I lost a home, and that's when I reached out to Kiwanians to help me at least settle down. But meanwhile, I'm renting a home where I'm living with my children, so I have to pay a monthly rent,
Right.
and that's how I'm coping.
Is that them? Is that them in the background?
Sorry?
Is that unless that's at Val? I'm hearing kids having a good time in somebody's background.
I think it's Grace's. Do we get to meet them, Grace?
Sorry?
Do we get to meet them? Are they in the background in the room? Yes. Are they in the background in the room with you?
Maybe the next show I can bring them in. For now, those are kids from the neighborhood around the clinic.
All right. I'm so glad to see you guys, and I'm sorry I'm in and out. I'm actually in Tupelo, Mississippi, and so we're looking at storm clouds all over the place, and so I had to come outside to talk with you. But Grace, you're one of my sheroes, and so I'm not sure if you guys have already talked about how did you get connected with Kiwanis? Because you seem like such a perfect fit with everything that you do.
Oh, how I got connected to Kiwanis, I used to do charity works with my kids, my family, my cousins. And it happened, I met this Kiwanian from Zambia, and he said to me, I see you posting a lot of charity works, visiting children and feeding the less fortunate in the country. How about I connect you to this organization that does the same? So I asked about the organization, and he explained to me what organization does, and I checked through Kiwanis and I got to like it. So that's how I got to meet the late Helmut Beran, who was then the chairman for Kiwanis in Africa. May his soul rest in peace. That's how I got to join Kiwanis.
Absolutely. So I know, Aaron, you probably have a lot of different things on your plate. So just let me interrupt you anytime.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm watching the chat room. Good morning, Douglas. He's in Gallup, New Mexico right now, and actually in the house. Okay, perfect. Gallup, New Mexico was actually the very first stop my wife and I made when we did our drive out here. So I'm very familiar with Gallup, New Mexico. As strange as that may sound. You would think a town like Gallup would be in Texas because of the horses you're galloping, but I guess they gallop there in New Mexico too. Anyway, all right. So let's kind of talk about some of the things that are going on. Let's talk about Kiwanis International out in your area. You're still Lieutenant Governor, but you've also taken on another title. What is that one about? You mentioned that you're dealing with communication for the African communities, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? Talk about that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the coordinator for the Kiwanis in Africa, English-speaking countries. In Africa, we have Kiwanis in English-speaking countries, and then we have the African French-speaking countries, where we have another lieutenant governor there. So these include the East Africa and a bit of countries in the West Africa. So what I do normally is to steer up the growth of clubs within this region. That is to start new clubs, educate people about Kiwanis, and rather empower them to join Kiwanis. So when I say I'm a coordinator for Kiwanis English-speaking country, all I mean is that we are working together with Daniel Vigneron, who is now the representative for KI in Africa. So we are working to open as many clubs in Africa and to create awareness for Kiwanis within Africa.
Right on. I bet Val would love to come out.
So are you? Oh, absolutely. But I really want to target some of those big businesses that have moved back into Africa and are doing major work, and the doctors and all of that are working with you. Hi, guys. Good morning. Hi, good morning. Good morning. Hi. I am way back. So I'm meeting locals while I'm standing outside. It's
That's
awesome.
okay. Bring
And
them
I just
on.
met two gentlemen from Nigeria.
Let
So,
them say hello. Bring them on. Bring them back. Let them say hello. Why not?
oh, they were busy flirting and asking me out. So no.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I don't want Andy to get upset.
Yeah. Yeah. My dating life is way over. So, but Grace, I know that we have some people that have companies that are actually operating in Africa. And I'm hoping that we might be able to get some of those folks to actually join some of your clubs so that we can help fund more of the activities, because you have so many service projects all lined up. So are there any major companies that you would like for us to help you with?
Of course, a lot. We have so many projects that we are undertaking at the moment, but the major project that we have
Mm-hmm.
the clubs in Kenya, it's health project. In Africa, we don't have enough healthcare. The population is high, the healthcare providers are less, and the healthcare facilities also are not well equipped. So being a healthcare worker and having most of my club members being healthcare providers, we thought it would be wise to try and help communities with healthcare services. So what we started
Mm-hmm.
is building medical camps within communities where we go by, we go treating patients there. We announce that we'll be coming on this date, and then communities will come, they address their issues to us. We treat where we can, we offer medicines we are able to, and when we have complicated issues, then we do referrals. We refer them to other hospitals, we follow up the cases, and also try to raise some money to support the treatment, because you might refer someone who is unable even to pay for the hospital bill. So that is
Right.
majorly what we've been doing as clubs in Kenya. While other clubs in other African countries like Uganda, they are so much majored into distributing foods to the people who are in need. We have very poor people living below average in Africa. So
Mm-hmm.
Kiwanians in these countries are doing these initiatives by donating clothes and foodstuffs, and creating homes for these people, because some are very homeless. So those are kind of projects that we have at the moment in Kenya and in Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
However, it becomes a bit challenging to do these projects because you need the medicines, you need
Yeah.
transportation, you need a lot of things are needed to perform these projects. And sometimes members are not able to come up with the resources that are needed to make this project successful. You find you have so many patients, but you don't have enough drugs, rather
Mm-hmm.
medicines. Rather, you have medics who are willing to go to the most interior parts of the country and see these patients. Unfortunately, you are not able to facilitate the medics from different cities to come, because someone would want to come and help, but they are not able to pay for their transport fee all the way to that place. You need also to get accommodation for these medics. So it becomes a challenge for many clubs in Africa to to do these projects. And that's why we are trying to see if our representatives are able to get us sponsor clubs from different parts of the world, sponsor clubs who are able to come in and support some of these projects. So far, we have few sponsor clubs sponsoring different clubs, and then we have other clubs that don't have sponsor clubs.
Let me take an opportunity to stop right there for a moment. Douglas puts into the chat room, he put a Facebook link in there to see if it was your club, and I pulled it up on a separate screen. Kiwanis Club of Kenya, and I'm going to botch the other part of it, Kajiado, Kenya Kajiado. Is that your link for your club?
Yeah.
Okay, so Douglas, you are correct. You got it. So, no. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I thought it was based on Grace's last response, but that's fine. All right. We're going to step aside for our first break of the show. Hopefully it's got the rain on Doc Val and no more flirting people going by. So we have Grace from Kenya, Val's in Tennessee. I'm in Virginia. John, well, we never really know where John is other than in the state of confusion. You're watching Kiwanis Connects. We'll be right back.
Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you stressed? Remember to take a moment for your mental health. At the Mental Health Moment, we believe in the power of self-care and community support. Our mission is to encourage and empower individuals across generations to prioritize their mental well-being. Through community, awareness, resources, and education, or CARE, we're here to support you every step of the way. Join us at the Mental Health Movement. Visit our website, thementalhealthmoment.org, or follow us on our social media platforms, because your mental health matters. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
The Granville Allied Gardens Kiwanis Club was founded in 1960. We provide service to Allied Gardens, Granville, San Carlos, Del Cerro, and surrounding communities of San Diego. Our support extends to the youth of our community by sponsoring programs at Hearst Elementary School K-Kids, Lewis Middle School's Builders Club, Patrick Henry High School's Key Club, and San Diego State University Circle K. Some of our favorite events and charities we support include the First Friday Concerts in the Park, patriotic holiday flags on Waring Road, Meals on Wheels, Cub Scouts, and the Allied Gardens Little League. Join our club. We are looking for people who care about making a difference for our children, for our community, and for our world. For more information about our Kiwanis Club and becoming a member, please visit www.alliedgardenskiwanis.org. All right, welcome back. I've been abandoned. Aaron Phillips anchoring in Virginia Beach. Val is somewhere in Tennessee, we hope. Looks like she got disconnected. And of course, Grace, Lieutenant Governor in Kenya, is joining us today to kind of bring us up to speed on what's happening in her situation with her housing, as well as Kiwanis International, her new position, and just kind of giving us some feedback. So let's talk about for a moment, if you could, for us, give us an idea of what are some of the projects in specific areas that some of the Kiwanians out there really have a focus on doing to support the local communities.
Other clubs rather than my club, Philip?
Yeah, just whatever you have going, just give us an idea of what kind of projects are happening across your district, right? Because you have more than one club. So let's talk about your district activities.
Okay. So within the district 001, our district is the first district, rather, it's a division. We are yet to become a district.
Okay.
So the division Kenya, like I said earlier, we are really focused on health projects. And before we started the health projects, we were so much doing distributing of foodstuff to the children's home. From the previous show we had, you could see me with the past president, Bart West, visiting different children's homes. Those are the children's home where we used to support the children. These are children brought up by different people, children who are homeless, put together in one home, and therefore we come in as volunteers to support them with food and things, basic needs, basically. So those are the projects that most clubs within my division are doing. My club is a bit, they're doing something different from the others because we are doing more on health, but other clubs, you find them donating food, donating clothes, and supporting communities through cleaning towns and advising on the best way to live when it comes to matters, better health. So my division, like I said, it's a very new division. We are still trying to learn what it entails to become a division. And me being a lieutenant governor, the first lieutenant governor, I would say I've not done much as a lieutenant governor. I don't feel really proud about it because having an office that requires a lot. I really looked at that menu of a lieutenant governor and things that a lieutenant governor is supposed to do. And I realized that we are yet even to get to a position where we're able to perform all those things because they are very demanding. So you find that me as a lieutenant governor, I'm supposed to organize a training or a conference or a meeting for all the clubs within my division. And these kind of activities are supposed to be sponsored by the club members. That is as per Kiwanis International policy. Unfortunately, the members within my division or within any division in Africa are not able to support the Lieutenant Governor's office to do these kind of activities. So until now, I'm unable to have any meeting with my clubs within my division, because that require a lot of funding. It require a lot of resources. I'm not even able to do it from my own pocket. So I ask members how much they can contribute. Some can, some cannot. So we end up having Zoom meetings, and not everyone is able to attend this Zoom meeting. As you can understand, in Africa, we have issues when it comes to connectivity, when it comes to network. So not everybody is able to attend these Zoom meetings. So I was wishing, and I had a wish, if Kiwanis International would really support the Lieutenant Governor's offices within Africa, and even the governor's offices that will come later, so that they're able to conduct their activities and run their offices like any other other offices out there, because we are yet to manage these things by ourselves. It's not easy. It's not easy in Africa running a charity organization.
I'll let Val comment on the Kiwanis International stuff.
Well, it's just Grace, you're talking to people that have been lieutenant governors.
Yeah.
So we have been in your seat. I was lieutenant governor 5 times. How many times for you?
2.
Aaron?
2.
2. Yeah. So we fully get it that, being a lieutenant governor in your situation where you don't have a governor yet is pretty huge. But I think that one of the things that will help a lot is, that John Crawford has been running a GoFundMe for you. And John Crawford is in San Diego.
We have the video ready whenever you're ready to show it.
All right. Grace, are you ready for us to show it?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, Styles, take it away.
Hi there, this is John Crawford from the Kiwanis Club of Grantville Allied Gardens, Division 21, San Diego, California. Some of you know that I've been organizing a fundraiser for the last several months for our friend Grace. Grace is a Kiwanis Lieutenant Governor who lives in Kenya, and last fall she lost her home because it was bulldozed. And I'd be happy to give you the whole story if you haven't heard it before. There's a whole PowerPoint presentation that I'm happy to share with you. Needless to say, Kiwanians help other Kiwanians, and we're hoping to raise some money for Grace. We've set a goal of $5,500 American, and we're about 60% of the way to the goal. We've had this campaign going for several months. We're about 60% of the way there, so we're over $3,000 total. Now, I got some big news, some good news, which I hope is going to push us toward our end goal and hopefully get Grace back into a house with her 2 kids and get them back into school. Thanks to a really generous donor who wishes to remain anonymous, but this is a Kiwanian. A good Kiwanis friend of mine heard about this situation with Grace and has offered generously to match any donations that come in between now and the end of our district convention in Hawaii. So that's about 3 weeks from now. The first $1,000 that we get will be doubled. So if you, as an individual, or if your Kiwanis Club would like to donate to Grace, now is the best time to do it, because whatever you give is going to be doubled automatically. So if you want to give $50, Grace gets $100. If you want to give $200, Grace gets $400. If your club is generous enough that you want to give $500 to this cause, we're only 2 or 3 clubs away from reaching our goal. If your club is willing to give $500 to help Grace get back into her home, it's going to be doubled, and Grace is going to receive $1,000. We can do this. We can get there. It can happen between now and the end of our district convention. Take this information, bring it to your clubs, talk to your members. I'm happy to share with the DCM if you want to meet on Zoom. I'm happy to Zoom in. I can email you all the materials. We're close to the end here, and Grace is so grateful. She couldn't make it to the International Convention in Denver. We wanted her to come and meet with everybody personally. We're going to try to get her to the next convention next year in Pittsburgh. Wouldn't it be nice if by then she was moved into a new house and her life was settled? Grace is a wonderful ambassador for Kiwanis all throughout East Africa, places like Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, any English-speaking African nation. And we've received some wonderful support so far, but I'm asking you to dig a little deeper because now we have matching donations available up to the first $1,000. We've already received one donation of $50, which is going to match, so $950 left. Let's see if we can do this. Thank you, everybody.
All right, so obviously that was, Val, you could probably talk more about this. That was obviously done by John a couple of weeks ahead of DCon. Do you have any updates on what may have happened since that video and since DCon?
I do, and I'm very happy and proud to talk about it because John put out a challenge, and I wanted to let Grace know that the Kiwanis Club of Bremerton gave $500 as a matching to what we got, the $1,000 that was matching funds, and a member of the Bremerton Washington Club also donated another $500. So you have $1,000 of matching funds. So that's $2,000 already that was just from that matching grant.
Wow.
So we're very, very excited about that. And what I would like to do is do a challenge to all of our viewers that can you donate another $2,000. If you can go in your pocket and go to the GoFundMe QR code,
John, put those up.
Donate $10. So John's going to put the QR code up, and so our goal is between now and a week from now that all of you would donate $10 to get this up to $4,000, and then we will have surpassed our goal to support Grace in her project. So,
well, that's wonderful. That's terrific. Grace, did you ever think 8 months ago, whenever this campaign to support you started, that you would be like this close? I mean, literally, we're like this close to the finish line.
I never saw it coming, but the efforts and the positivity that John had really got me feeling like, yes, it's gonna happen. He kept saying it will work out, and it's really working out. I don't know. I'm so grateful. I'm really grateful.
You notice the first letter in Kiwanis is the big letter K, and if you look at the shirt I'm wearing, which I can't even do it the right way, just do it this way. Kindness starts with the letter K. So
yeah, I know.
That's what
Kiwanis is very kindness. You find kind people.
Absolutely. Well, I'm delighted to hear that we're almost at the finish line. So that's great. Val, we talked about some of the activities that the clubs around Grace are doing under her direction, things like that. What other topics you want to bring up to Grace that we haven't talked about before that you want to address?
well, one of the things I wanted to talk about with you, Grace, is that you have inspired me to be a part of the international project on the Possibilities Project. And the Possibilities Project is a Kiwanis International outreach that's just got kicked off at International, where we're going to raise $25 million to help Kiwanis clubs around the world do their projects. And so while John and our group have helped do this independently, we know that we need to help our Kiwanis clubs around the world. And so thinking about the projects, if you could, I think your priorities are the same exact priorities that we have as our Kiwanis International Initiative. And so I really want to make sure we help you in doing things. And I really missed your voice at Kiwanis International. And so I know that it was really tough. Is there anything that prohibits you from actually being able to come to an international convention?
Oh yeah, on that part, that was really heartbreaking. So I really looked forward to attending the convention, and I had gotten a really good Kiwanian who was willing to support my return ticket and accommodation within Denver. So I started working for my visa, though a bit late because I wasn't sure how I would make it there until I got a good donor. So I worked on my visa. I got right dates. I went for the interview at the US Embassy to Kenya. Unfortunately, they only asked me 2 questions. That is,
Mm-hmm.
what is the purpose for attending the convention? What's the convention about? And what is Kiwanis? All the questions I answered right, but they got me a pink letter and told me, sorry, try next time. That was really heartbreaking.
Oh, wow. That is heartbreaking. I wonder how many other people in other countries are facing that. Since we don't do remote voting, it really makes it tough for you to participate in governance. So, do you think our lawyer might be able to help other folks get the visas that they need?
Yeah, I think now QKI have
Know.
need to come in, like step in and help the people, rather the delegates attending this convention, especially from this side of the world. It's not easy for an African to get a visa to come to the US. It's something that you have to keep on trying and trying. So, like, mind you, I had an invitation letter from KI. I had another letter from my the person who was catering, that is my facilitator. He had a letter. He wrote the letter that he's the one facilitating the air ticket and the accommodation. And he stated well that he will ensure that I come back. This is a Kiwanian from Kiwanis Club of New London who supports my club once in a while. So they didn't even want to see these letters. So I felt like if we could have a mediator between us and KI, who would first, write to the embassy before we get there, it would be easier to get the visas. Now I want to start trying for the visa for next year convention, but I don't know how lucky I may be. Maybe, yeah, you're right, but Doc, I mean, someone needs to come in. We need to have a lawyer from KI to help us with this.
Well, if I can be just a little selfish about it, now that next year's international is going to be in Pittsburgh, which is going to be somewhat easy for me to get to from Virginia, at least when you're able to make it out there, I'll be able to meet you at the same time the Kiwanis world gets to meet you when you come out to Pittsburgh next year. How's that? That's a selfish standpoint. You know what I'm saying? I get to meet you at the same time as everybody else does. So, but I can't. I mean, I can only imagine what the disappointment must have been, and they really didn't give much of a reason other than just saying it's not good enough, basically, and they denied it. Is that basically what we're saying here?
Yeah, right.
See, they should have asked with the last question first, like what is Kiwanis? They should have gotten an understanding first of what it is, and then give you the opportunity for them to understand why it's important to go and how being there helps the community, where you're from and all of that. Yeah. So it's a shame they were short-sighted.
Like question, how do you relate to the organization? Do you have an invitation letter? Why do you need to attend this convention? Those kind of questions, and even ask for these supportive documents and see exactly why I should have attended that convention. They didn't bother about all that.
Wow. That's too bad. Go ahead, Val.
Yeah, so Valerie, I mean, you need to work on that. Help us. Get someone from KI to work on something about that, because I just can't hold another heartbreak like the one I had. You prepare so much, you expect a lot, and then boom, you're denied.
So we've got to figure out at the international level how and when to start the visa process that's supported out of our international office, so that people can get here early enough. So I think it's going 9 months to 6 months out for Pittsburgh, because I really think that it's important as you're growing and attracting new members that your voice is heard for the governance. We made a lot of decisions that impact our Kiwanis world, and we didn't have the whole world there to vote on it. So that's just my my soapbox. Yeah. So, Aaron, I'll get off my soapbox.
No, well, but it makes sense, though. I mean, how can you represent and say that, you're an international organization when you can't have everybody there that is internationally part of the organization? I mean, to me, that just doesn't add up in my mind. But then again, what do I know about hockey? I'm just, we're just sitting here doing this, right?
And Doc also on the same, I think, You see, if I didn't have that person willing to facilitate my trip, honestly, I wouldn't have come because I wouldn't manage to pay for my ticket all the way to Denver.
Sure.
So I was thinking also Kiwanis International need to consider these areas like Africa where now it's a very good growth for it has a very good opportunity to grow Kiwanis. Now they should consider the leaders within this region and probably just facilitate the air ticket and then maybe half they do air ticket and then we do accommodation, or maybe they can just do a full facilitation because you don't expect a Kiwanian leader from Africa to pay all that amount of money to attend a convention. No matter how willing you are, you wouldn't manage.
Just out of curiosity, John Crawford has made it I knew he'd be watching somewhere along the line. He says, I hope Grace is keeping safe amid all the protests and violence in Kenya. We'll get to that in a second. But can you give us an idea in US dollars what the cost would have been for you out of pocket if you were able and chose to pay out of pocket to come to convention? What would that have been? What would that have been for you?
Okay, let me.
You can ballpark it.
That would be like 300 USD, 3,000 USD.
Well, and that's airfare, registration for the convention, and all of that, or is that just airfare?
No, 3,000 USD. That's a return ticket without accommodation and without registration.
Wow. So that's just the flights and stuff. Wow.
That's just the flight.
Wow. So you're probably looking at about so you got flights, hotel, registration, but you're probably looking at about a $4,000 US dollar trip easily.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Val is trying to log back in for whatever the reason she keeps getting dropped out. It could be the weather she was mentioning might be interfering with her Wi-Fi. So what I'd like to do is let's take a break early, giving her time to get back in because I know she probably wants to get in on the conversation and the question that John asked. We'll take it right to the top. If Val has anything on the road, we'll share that. And, of course, as always, the Emmy Award-winning Bad Dad Jokes are on the way. Hey, you're watching Kiwanis Connects with Grace. We'll be right back.
At Kiwanis Family House, we build communities and give hope. But when someone is sick, families can be tested in ways they never imagined. Parents have to travel far from home to get their child the complex medical care needed. They may have to miss work and worry about paying the bills, and all the while, trying to keep their family together. That's where Kiwanis Family House comes in. Kiwanis Family House provides a home away from home for families with sick family members receiving treatment at nearby hospitals. Families stay at Kiwanis Family House for as long as they need. This allows them to be close to their sick family member and each other during a stressful time. Every day, Kiwanis Family House witnesses how families are a powerful source of support and healing during difficult times due to illness or trauma. Every day, Kiwanis Family House celebrates the importance of family and the power of love and support. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you stressed? Remember to take a moment for your mental health. At the Mental Health Moment, we believe in the power of self-care and community support. Our mission is to encourage and empower individuals across generations to prioritize their mental well-being. Through community, awareness, resources, and education, or CARE, we're here to support you every step of the way. Join us at the Mental Health Movement. Visit our website, thementalhealthmoment.org, or follow us on our social media platforms because your mental health matters. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
All right, welcome back to Kiwanis Connect. A couple of quick updates here for everybody. Number one, if you go to aaronshour.vegas and you click on the sponsor tab, we have a link up there now for the Mental Health Moment, who is now a sponsor and advertiser of the show, who you met last week with Melissa. Go to her site. Go to the link on aaronshour.vegas under, as I said, sponsors. Click on the logo right at the top. That'll take you right to her page, and you can make a donation there. We did get about $200 worth of donations, plus some great donations from Douglas for the cause there. And, so do that. And after that, don't forget Aaron's Hour tomorrow, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. I have no idea what I'm doing yet. It's going to be one of those grab bag kind of shows. So with that, all right, Val is back. The weather must be playing havoc with your internet connection.
You know, I am just wanting to cry because I've been waiting to be on the show with you guys all week. It's just like, so if you can hear me, that's absolutely wonderful. If not, just do your thing.
No,
But, you know, Grace.
We got you.
Yeah, I can hear you, Doc.
All right.
So,
all right. I came up with an idea, and I was going to float it across with you, Grace. What if we were to have a group of Kiwanis people who are doctors come over and do a visit for like a week or 2 weeks? And we could get, you know, we'd start this in Pittsburgh, set a date, and it's kind of like the Santa's Visit Project where they send a group of Kiwanians out. Would that be something that might be sustainable, you think?
Yeah, that should really help.
Okay.
And I would really
So
glad to meet all of you.
that sounds like
awesome.
a great
And we would bring the meds with us that you we put together what you want us to do. And so let's brainstorm. People in the chat, think about doctors that you know that are in your clubs and make a reference to us. Go to Kiwanis Connect, make a reference to doctors that might be interested in doing a voluntation. And so a voluntation. Yeah, you can write it off on your taxes if you're in North America.
What did you call that, Doc?
So
a voluntation.
So Grace, let's make that happen.
Volunteer.
All right, that's a great idea.
I think I want to go back to show number 1 that Val and I started. We can create a whole Val's dictionary of words that she creates during shows. We'd have a Webster's dictionary. So we now have voluntation. I like that one. That's a very good one. I like that. So, all right, before we went to break, Val, John Crawford, I mentioned his comments that popped up, and he mentioned about that she's asking if she's safe amid all the protests and violence in Kenya. And I said that we would come back and chat a little bit about that. So, Val, I'll toss it to you to open that up if you'd like.
Okay. You know, I'm one of those junkies that loves to read the Wall Street Journal and all those kind of things. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't show up on our news. And so, Grace, what are you facing? What kinds of things are you seeing happening in Kenya right now that other people need to know about?
Oh yeah, I guess it's all over the world news. You can see them on the screen. I see the other day it was in the on the first page of the US newsletter, or rather newspaper. So what's happening is that we are anti-government protests by this group called the Gen Z. The Gen Z, that's the young generation. That is the Generation Z. So they're protesting against high cost of living by the current government. They're also protesting against overtaxing. And the finance bill for 2024, which was really high for the average citizen in Kenya. So they wanted it withdrawn with immediate effect, and they went on the streets and they protested. They bumped into the parliament and other government offices. It was really ugly. Yeah, a lot of people lost their lives from the, from this commotion and police gunshots and all that. So it's still ongoing, though the president has really listened to them, has done some of the things they really demanded, like the withdrawing of the finance bill, changing of the cabinet, and also the, replanning the government. So the government is really listening to the Gen Z because it's really getting ugly. There were more protests yesterday. So yesterday we were unable to get out of the houses. Today at least we could work. Today the country is very quiet. But on Monday, Tuesday, we don't know. We could remain in the houses. Even the kids are not going to school. So it's not a good situation in Kenya right now.
Wow.
So sounds like there's a curfew in effect and keeping everybody inside during this, right?
Yeah, you don't want to walk outside outside your house is the kind of situation. People are throwing stones and gunshots all over.
Well, that's usually Saturday night in New York City, so I guess it wouldn't be that much different. Anyway.
Yeah, but I'm safe. My kids are safe. Kiwanians, Kiwanians members are all safe.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Now, how far is all that happening from where you are? Or is it happening all over?
It's just happening in every town in the country. Like the other day, we didn't expect it. So we came to work and I'm seeing a patient and I had a very loud voice, only to realize that it was a gunshot. So I had to close the doors and close myself inside with the patients.
Jeez. I mean, I guess, you know, in countries that have political issues like this, I guess, you know, the guns and the violence is almost become second nature to have to deal with and know that. And it's a shame that feel like this, that this is life right now. And so I guess you do kind of get desensitized to it when you realize what it is. You're like, oh, okay, it's a gunshot. Let me just close the door and I'll keep working, you know, kind of thing. So yeah, that's got to be hard. How are your kids reacting to all that's going on?
It's really traumatizing for the kids. And also it's really affecting them because they're supposed to be in school and actually doing the exams for the end of term. But the schools are suspended because you don't want to put your kids out there and expose them to all these risks. So it's a trauma for children, I would say.
Do you have the opportunity or the ability, if you choose to do homeschooling with them in the meantime of some sort?
Oh yeah, we have to do homeschooling because they have to catch up with the syllabus.
Sure, okay.
Because when they go back to school, they have to sit for the exams. The teacher will not start teaching again. They take them straight to the exams.
Wow. And again, just refresh our memory. How old are your kids?
My firstborn son is now 11 years old and my daughter is 6 years old.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, just, I guess, keep trucking, as they say. Just keep doing what you got to do to keep them safe and, you know, make sure that everything around you is safe. And, you know, you and your family come first, regardless of anything else. So like John Crawford said in the chat before, hoping that you're safe, and you are, and keeping you and your kids safe has got to be priority number one at this point, right?
Yeah, and I also like to put this across that this is not how
I'm back. Wow.
Welcome back. Kenya is a very peaceful country, Aaron. So this is the situation that's taking place right now. That's not how Kenya looks like. Normally, this is something that's happening, and it's happening for the first time. And it's because, like I said, the new government really came with quite a lot of demanding from its citizen. It put so much pressure on us, starting with demolishing our own houses, not caring about its people, now overtaxing, and all that. So we actually support what is happening. We support the Generation Z by challenging the government. They're very peaceful people who are protesting. The problem comes in when the police try to use force on its people.
Sure. And that's natural. All right. So Val, real quickly, because we're down to about just under 10 minutes. How many times have you actually dropped off today's call because of your phone?
A phone and iPad, I would say probably about 18.
18 times? Wow. So here's what we're going to make that drop off worthwhile. I will donate $5 for every time you dropped off. So whatever 18 times 5 is about, it's a carry to 4 or 5. That's about $90. I'll round it to an even 100. And I'll add that to Grace's fund just because you kept dropping off and you've been trying hard to get back. Mother Nature, leave us alone, will you please? But anyway, I'll donate $5 for every time you dropped off. So just we'll have some fun with it. All right. Before we lose you, though, how about you talk us about Val on the road? Got to give John a second because I'm just kind of springing this on him. So, John, if you have the intro, hit it. If you don't, let me know.
So I'm so excited. I am in Tupelo, Mississippi, at the Lamiston, Louisiana, Mississippi, East Tennessee District Convention, And Grace, there are several people that wanted to say hello, but they're at a meeting. But Burt West sends you his love and he says hello. So past President Burt West and Joe Schwartz are also here. And so they were like, oh, bummer, because they had to go to a meeting. And so my on the road this whole weekend is hanging out with some pretty fun people that really care about what you're doing. And just want to say, keep on working hard, and we're going to help you figure out how to get the support that you need. And next week, I am headed back to Cali for a week. And so we'll have a really good connection at that point in time. Woohoo! But thank you guys so much. And I probably am the clearest I've been the whole day. So.
No, you mentioned in one message during the week that there's fires going on in Cali near you or something. Is that right?
There are several fires, but nothing's endangering us right now. There's I am really wanting to send prayers up for Taiwan and the Philippines with the typhoon and the hurricanes or whatever it's called. There's been so much flooding, and over 600,000 people have been displaced. I keep checking in on all of my Kiwanis friends and in the Philippines because they're being hit the hardest. And so we can send prayers up. It looks like Mother Nature is doing terrible things, and we just need to band together with some positivity and kindness.
Yeah. And I'm sitting here because usually we have quite a few folks from the Philippine area, the district in Philippines, watching the show and checking in with us. And obviously nothing. And now I didn't realize that was going on down there weather-wise. So now we know why. So
yeah,
wow.
Yes.
Okay. And when are you coming to Virginia to visit me?
I don't know yet. At first, this part of the time, I have to figure out how to get water in my pool. It's still not full yet.
I can send you what I'm pumping out of mine over the last 5 weeks. Besides, by the way, before I go into bad dad jokes, Doreen messaged me. We have dates that we have to select, and we're going to go do dinner with them at her place. Now their AC is fixed.
Awesome. So, Grace, my friends moved to Virginia Beach a couple years ago, and I was able to connect them with Aaron so that he's not alone searching for a Kiwanis Club by himself.
Yep.
Yeah, and he moved.
Yeah, so I joined their club, the Kiwanis Club of the Chesapeake Kiwanis Club. Eileen and I, my wife, we visited the Virginia Beach Kiwanis Club yesterday just for her to see that. She'll go with me to Chesapeake the next time. We may have her join the Virginia Beach Club. I'll stick with Chesapeake. We'll have the best of all worlds. But we'll see. And hopefully some of them are watching because I've been talking about Kiwanis X. Oh, and the commercial. That's the other thing I wanted to pitch. Folks out there, whether you're a business person, a Kiwanian, or Kiwanis Club, and you want to help promote your business, your club, for branding, for membership growth, for your whatever, we offer customized commercials through Kiwanis Connects and WWDB-TV Studios. Email Kiwanis Connects info@gmail.com for all the details. 30 seconds, $250, 60 seconds, $300, 90 seconds, $350. And by the way, the $50 in each of those, guess what? Becomes a fundraiser for the Kiwanis Rose Float Club. We send $50 back of that donation. So this way the Rose Float can keep on floating down the Colorado Boulevard every year. So it's a win-win. All right. We have a couple of minutes left. So Grace, I don't want to send you off yet because I have to endure you through bad dad jokes. It's a requirement. You have to stay and listen to them. Laughter is optional. But of course, Andy is listening. Val, listen, I got to send you off with smiles as always, even with the crappy connection today. It's all good. All right. Because we've been talking so much about money in various ways and directions, jokes today are money-centric. So keep that in mind when I ask my questions, okay? How can you double your money?
Fold it in half.
Oh, you knew that one. All right, I'll give you that one. That's fine. Steve Nagel from Edison, New Jersey, my longtime dear friend from Kiwanis Circle K. Leave Grace alone, Steve. She's staying. You can go if you want, though. I've known Steve Nagel a very long time. All right. What would you do if a bull charged you? Hey, whatever he charged. By the way, John tracked down that gal on Instagram. We have her handle. I'm going to message her, but now she hired a publicity company. So,
Oh, bummer.
yeah. All right. Why couldn't the art dealer pay his rent? He ran out of Monet. Oh my God. Why did the lumberjack go to the bank? He wanted to open up a savings account. Couple more and then we'll get everybody out of here. I hope Andy's watching. Maybe he's not watching. I don't see him in the chat room yet. So where do Eskimos keep their money? Wait, Grace is holding it in, so I know I'm doing a good job. That's okay. It's all right, Grace. Doc tries to hold it in every week. It doesn't work. So please feel free to guffaw out loud. Where do Eskimos keep their money? Anybody? In snowbanks. Eskimo winter snowbank. Last one, and I'll get everybody out of here. Why did the farmer feed money to his cow?
Because the cow gave him money.
Oh, well, in a way, he wanted rich milk. Don't kill the messenger. I just read them, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. They come from the book. If nothing else, we send you off with a smile. Looks like Val is frozen now sideways, like the Batman used to put its villain sideways. So we'll say, oh, she's coming. There you go. There. Oh, you got it twice. So you came back to get. Did you hear the last one?
No.
The last one. Do you want to hear the last one?
Yes.
Okay. Why
I'm trying at this point.
Why did the farmer feed money to his cow?
So he could get a rich milk.
He could get rich milk. That's right, Grace. There you go. Remember, folks, I just read them. I don't write them. But today, I made Val and Grace crack up. So that's a win-win for me. Andy, I hope you loved them today. All right. Let's close it up. Great. I'm going to just simply say, Grace, thank you for joining us again. Please stay safe. Please keep doing what you're doing. It does make a difference, regardless if you think it doesn't. You are making a difference, even if it's in one person's life, child or adult. That one person's life has changed because of something you do. Doc, Val, take it away.
I am always so grateful for this show and being able to do this with you guys. I apologize to the world, but please keep watching us show up next week. And Grace, stay safe. And I am not kidding. Let's make this happen. Let's get a doctor vacation or voluncation going, because I think that Kiwanians helping Kiwanians is what we're all about.
Absolutely. Grace, I'll give you final words before I close it out. What would you like to say to everybody in 30 seconds?
Thank you so much, Aaron, for having me once again. Thank you so much, Doc, for your thoughts on how to grow Kiwanis in Africa and all the support you're organizing. I'm ready for that Doc's Vacation Volumecation. I can't wait for that. We're definitely going to plan for that. My shout outs to John Crawford. Thank you so much, friend, for all that you're doing for me. So much love and so much prayers for you and your wife. One thing I would like to say to all the Kiwanians across the world who've taken their time to support Grace in Kenya is that I may not be there to say thank you, but in my heart and in my room, I'm praying that God continue to shower with a lot of blessings in everything that you do. Thank you so much. Doc, pass my big hug to Jo. We just spoke like an hour ago. She's a very nice lady. Say I said hi. Thank you.
Right on. Thank you, Grace. All right, everybody, quick programming note. Don't forget Aaron's Hour tomorrow again, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. I got some interesting things about the White House itself. I'm not talking politics. I'm not talking any of that, but the physical White House, some interesting historical facts about all of that. I got some winnings in Vegas, man. A lot of people won some money. We got to share the wealth with Grace. And after that, who knows what else will happen in Aaron's Hour. It's always a crapshoot. With that, everybody, my final note, be kind to everybody. That's right. Be kind. Why? We're all we have. We'll see you next time right here on Kiwanis Connects. Thank you for watching.